points on the side of Kaz. They can score, except maybe Hooper looking to trial through the edges of the map. They're just staying there, I think, just to wait it out. Not too sure what the plan is there, but regardless, we do have now a pivot to the basement path here. Both teams now just trying to capture enough Pokemon for the next bit of fight. I mean, 2 Unite moves available, 3 for Jinsei and 2 for Kaz. Fire Spin now onto Operator. Breaks the passive. Nothing happening so far, but we do have the scores remaining in the lead of Kaz there, Scared.
True. It will come down to how well Aegislash actually uses up his own Unite move too. He's constantly playing away from his team. Delphox a bit too far forward though, as Mimikyu also shows up his own presence. Will be stunned up by the Slowbro, and they'll be getting their own HPs back up. Embryon, a bit of a low in that HP too, but all the birds will now be secured by Cass, so they quickly and easily zone out the members of Jin.
Dash in, maybe get a few more extra basic attacks onto the Umbreon, but that's another pick. And this time going into the hands of Blissey, Umbreon a bit too far forward. That will give them an ability to take down the bottom Reggie objective. It's another Reggie steal. So for all the people who like those flashy plays, extra bit of attack for Jinsei coming in.
This is a huge advantage as well. I mean, Reggie still is the best Reggie you can even ask for. And as it was then Headbutt to go through, the full heal to make sure the Fire Spin doesn't actually affect them, but it's not going to be enough to knock down the Delphox, unfortunately. Pyera gets egg bombed into the Cerulege, will actually not make it to the home pad. And instead of going for that Regieleki, Jinsei has opted to score in, extending the lead in the bottom pad. They know they have the jump pad now to take care of this Regieleki. It's not going to be a problem. And for once, Jinsei has the points lead. They have the level advantage going to the Rayquaza. Let's see whether they can keep it with the Green Dragon coming out in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, it comes down to who's going to make their own plays, right? The level disadvantage for Cass, though, level 10 onto Hoopa as well as Umbreon, so not a good amount of ability to sustain through all of the bullets. We talked about this comeback story, and guess what? It's being now made into perfection. It's been now made into reality. They will be going in for their own scores too, and nothing that Cass could do to make that comeback. The last concert really happened just recently. Yeah, and this is the last stand that they could have thought of, but what a way for Jinsei to make that comeback.
A great display of resilience here for Jinsei. They were able to hold it out, even though the first game didn't go their way. Snuck through the second game, but definitely more convincing is going to be this third one. 35 seconds left, but with 400 plus points needed to be scored by Kaz, this is a tall order and an unlikely scenario for them to come back.
Absolutely, and this Aegislash pick actually worked out super well for them, right? Because you can switch constantly between having an extra bit of attack or maybe having an extra bit of defense depending on the situation. And even though Cass went in with their Mimikyu ride-on composition, they could not really get a good angle to get into the enemy backline. Plus, I'd have to say, even though Jinsei had the Delphox pick, and we thought that it really needs a good amount of support to get activated, surviving over till the late game is basically what they needed to do, and they did it to utmost perfection.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was the Mimikyu not able to knock out the Delphox with their Unite move, because as soon as they tried to go on the Delphox, the Bliss Assistants actually saved them and actually knocked them out instead. So, a bit unlucky, and once they fell, the rest of the team kind of also fell as well. I mean, having a level 15 Delphox at the end is huge for their team, and a great shout out to them for actually navigating the levels very well. 633 to 128 is going to be the scoreline, and Leo will take the MVP for their team, but Pyara taking it for theirs as well. And I don't think the Metagross did bad at all. I think it was a great pick that has some great engages. Yet again, the Rayquaza fire really triumphs everyone.
Yeah, this changed a lot of things out there. And a good play coming in. I think so that disconnect definitely ended up being the final nail in the coffin for Cass 2. Maybe not the final one, but at least one of the nails in the coffin. They could not get onto onto the members of the other side. Good amount of heal. Again, onto that Mimikyu Sunflower, 21,000, 50% for the entire team. But as you mentioned, Lala with 86,000 heal, 67.4%, saved his team so many times. Veronica did not score anything, had a decent amount of damage too, highest in the team, so definitely doing what a Delphox does the best. Stay in the back line, destroy the enemy front line, and survive.
I think the fire spin was, really crucial to making it very hard for the Metagross or the Mimikyu to actually play the game consistently, right? Having to use the full heal if they really needs to get the shields just made it, one more nuisance for Kaz to actually think about how to fight that. So congratulations to Jinsei for making it back into the grand finals. They're going to be going up against Proud Throwers for the revenge match. Don't forget, it's going to be a best of 5 scenario, so a lot of games coming your way. But before that, take some time to hydrate, grab some snacks. We still have a huge set to come. We're going to take a quick break while we set that up. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to the Challengers number 1. We're now at the end. ScaredYet and I will be bringing guys the grand final action. It's going to be between Proud Throwers and Jinsei for the second time in a row. Yeah, Scared. Are we going to see a massive comeback here in this best of 5 set?
It depends. If you ban out the Hoopa, maybe yes, because Proud Throwers really know how to throw you off with those constant portals. And we've been seeing that. We saw that in the first series too. Jinsei struggling for the 2 games in that situation. Now definitely brings in a bit of an action. Miraidon, Umbreon, both of them banned out, along with the Blissey as well as the Rapidash. So maybe Inteleon could be first pick or a Hoopa. I think so. Proud Throws are going to pick the Hoopa.
That's exactly correct. Nice little manifestation there. Great little core. Just remind everyone watching at home, folks, it is going to be a best of 5, but because Proud Throwers have made it to the grand finals through the winners bracket, they're going to have a 1-game advantage. So they only need to win 2 to win this series, whereas Jinsei need to win 3. And we're going to have 2 picks here. The Slowbro and the Elder God seem to be locked in for Jinsei, so no attacker, no Carrymon so far.
I kind of like this idea. You steal away the Slowbro from the other side. That basically means now you have got a good amount of lockdown, but a Crustle being brought in the mix. Fu, before we talk about anything else, what do you think about this Crustle pick coming back into the meta, maybe?
I personally don't think Crustle is in the meta. I don't know why Avalon has picked it here. Maybe they've got some sort of secret up their sleeve. The only time I see Crustle scared is when they're ripping their Rayquaza with Stealth Rock and Fluffy Tail, which is, I don't know whether it's a most consistent way to play Crustle, but, you know, you're right, this is a new Pokemon we haven't seen in a while. I don't know whether it's going to be able to do anything, though, to a Slowbro, Serena, and a Sword, though.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see now. They've also locked in that Espeon too, just like the previous game, then locking in the Buzzwole as well into Slowbro, LD, AG Slash. I'm not quite sure that's the best pick out here, but maybe if the AG Slash decides to dash into your team, you can constantly knock him up, go for those slams in, and you also are running with the Cerulege too. So now you want to catch in that Inteleon with all that picks. We'll just have to see. Hoopa is basically going to help them dive into that backline along with Cerulege constantly finding those flank angles. But the Zarina can, if it gets locked in, will ruin the entire plan of Proud Throwers.
I think I understand the Crustle pick a little bit more now with the Buzzwole pick, because the Rock Tomb is going to be able to kind of reduce the amount of space that a rune can actually dash away, right? If you put a nicer Rock Tomb onto the Inteleon, they don't actually have a way to get out of it, and maybe this provides Jinga the ability to actually get onto this attacker. But they do have to go through the Cerulege. They have to go through the Aegislash and the Serena, though. So we saw how good Serena was. Akira playing that Pokemon beforehand. Let's see what they can bring it back in. But Proud Throwers will have the 1-game advantage, so they have the option to test out some stuff, right? They kind of have a buffer game to kind of see whether Jinsei has changed their ways, whether they have brought something new to the table, because the last time they matched together, Proud Throwers was able to take that set.
Absolutely. And we'll just have to wait and see this time around. You don't really want to jump directly onto the face of Buzzwole, so don't repeat the mistake that you made last time, Jinsei. It's probably what we're both hoping for that now. And again, man, looking at this composition, I really like what Jinsei is bringing on the table, but at the same time, it comes down to how well you execute that, right? Serena, if you try to jump in on the enemy backline, that basically means now your Inteleon is entirely open up for that Crustle as well as Cerulege to dive in, right? The Revenant Trend is going to be very crucial. If it lands in on Inteleon, you're technically dead, but the Grand Finals first game, we're all the way in Thea Sky Ruins.
We're going to go through now. Buzzwole, Hoopa, we know how good it is, and same as what they've done before, Proud Thrower is going to send the Hoopa into the central area there just to help out the clearing and also getting that red buff for this fight up top. Akira now looking to try to get some stacks in.
Going in slowly. Shinga as well wants to try and get in that dunk of that 4-point faster than the basic attacks of Serena, probably. So he's just going to enjoy his own time. Don't really have anyone to worry about too, and that's maybe so that they could get that early level onto the Hoopa too. I think so they're just trying to play in a smart strategy. It's been working for them till now, so maybe they're gonna keep on continuing it. But here we go, the poke constantly coming in, the heal's still there. My god, why do Zarina and they look like sisters?
I mean, they're both, I guess, fruit and flowers, right? One is a cotton bud and the other one is a mangosteen. Before they became a mangosteen, so guess questions we can ask Professor Oak another time, but we do have a level 5 Buzzwole very close to that level, and they will be able to hit that, which means that the damage is going to come through. They have access to their superpower. They're going to go scoring first before they go for a nice little play. They missed the grab, however, so better now from Jinsei. They didn't all go down from the ambush, but yet again, Prialtra was very aggressive off the get-go, but maybe with a change to their draft, Leo can do something here.
Oh, they stole away the red as well and then eventually punished down the other side. That's a big problem for Jinsei. The early game snowball already hitting in for Proud Throwers. And remember last time when they played this Buzzpool, it was level 15 at the Rayquaza fight. You don't want to see that happen again. One good thing is that they've got Slowbro this time, so Jinsei can maybe stop him. But there we go, the slam comes in onto the face, a couple of basic attacks, not the enhanced one there. So maybe bit of an extra play coming in from Buzzpool, but he will go back onto his own base towards that portal. Jumps back in at the same place though.
Yeah, I just don't understand why Kira is running at a Buzzpool that is clearly so high level for them. Maybe they have some plan up their sleeve, but, you know, the plan is really the Buzzpool taking down Jinsei bit by bit. This is back in again. Why are we getting so close? We need some social distancing. This is coronavirus period, I think, for Jinsei. They don't want to go into the Buzzpool, but they keep going. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Jinga's getting the freest stacks, the freest KOs. Arun's not even level 7 yet. Just farm a little bit, get your level 7 moves, your second, I guess, abilities up, and then you can have your fight. You can get those KOs easily. If you feed this Buzzle up to the level 9, they're going to be able to have a way to get to the backline with their Unite move.
And right now the Cyrilage on the side of Proud Throwers is actually level 9. So we've been constantly hoping for Jinsei to get those levels, but Proud Throwers are the ones who are enjoying their own time. And Crustle is just making sure that the Slowbro is zoned out from his entire team. Aegis Slash wants to jump in, maybe the Unite move. No, it's Cyrilage who secures in the Regiais. They're still trying to go in for that fight. Slowbro trying to get that knocked down. Constantly being knocked in on the other side is a big problem as Cyrilage gets a 2k. Absolutely phenomenal as Inteleon now tries to dash out of the harm's way. Maybe catching a bit more damage on the other side. Jumps in onto the berry, secures it. And in that entire duration, Buzzpool was taking the Regiliki up top.
It's a very scary situation for Jinsei to be in. They're not winning the 5v4s at all. Buzzpool doesn't even turn up the fight for them to kind of, I guess, get enough KOs that the fight was in the favor of Proud Throwers. They're going for more now. And I think maybe it's just okay to give up this pad, allow the additional while Pokemon spawn on your side. Doesn't look like they're going to be listening to that advice, but it doesn't seem like Proud Throwers is going to be pushing either. Instead, they're going to go into that middle section. Maybe get some of these Altarias. They're going to be spawning right now, feeding the Buzzwole yet again. But to the relief of Jinsei, they get a 34, and maybe one of the first stacks for Akira. Hopefully, with a Unite move now, they're going to be able to get some of those levels back.
Probably. Level 9 slowly and steadily up on board for all three. Inteleon's Arena as well as the Aegis Slash. Important play coming in, but you really need to take down those tier 1 pads whatsoever, because Hoopa has got his portals. He's constantly going to be bringing his teammates back from top to bottom, and a return-way journey too, as the bottom Regi objective now going to spawn in the next 25 seconds. We're in the mid-game now. Mid-game is where we normally see Jinsei make a comeback, but Proud Throwers have not been throwing away their snowball. Level 11 hitting in onto the Cyrilage too. Oh, this could be a big pick-up on Buzzpool.
Well, one of the benefits of Buzzwole is they're able to knock them away, and they're going to knock them right into the Revenant Ren. But it's actually going to be Cerulean that goes down first. Massive Rubble Rouser into the huge X-Scissor. We'll be able to knock out 4 members of Jinsei, and it's going to be a Mosquito running after this Lizard. They do pick up a Chaos Streak of 3. I mean, Jinga is having the time of their life yet again. It just seems like the Buzzwole is a great pick in whatever Jinsei is throwing at them, and that goes to the fact that they're a hefty level 11, joining the Cerulean on the team, joining the Espeon as well.
The priority needs to be there. You've got to save at least one of your lockdown skills to try and stop the Buzzpool out there. Espeon, can he steal that away? He steals the Registeel away as well! And now it's a 3v3 down bottom, Pooh!
It's incredible scenes for this game there. What an incredible way to make sure that you are able to shut down any sort of comeback. But do have Leo picking up a Chaos Streak of 2 that allows at least some points to come through. And the scores are not going to be that far apart anymore. But Akira is now going through with the Queen Ascendants onto the Buzzwole. All-rounder needs to be all-rounder here. There's something that Jinga has to say about it. I think Akira might have been a bit more than they can chew. Buzz will be able to get that KO, but maybe the Crustal was not going to be too lucky. Nice little snipe shot to get that knockout for them, and they are going to be able to take down 2 members of Proud Throwers at the end. So, hopefully Proud Throwers doesn't do what their name suggests and throw away this game, because they're still in the lead for points, they're still in the lead for levels at the minimum. Buzzwole on a roll once again.
Oh
Beast Boost gets KO streak of 2. They're going for more on the Leo. They do connect, and that's going to be KO streak on 3. And I don't think Jinga is stopping anytime soon. They're here to put on the show for everybody. Oh my god, the snipe shot nearly takes down Cerulege though.
Yeah, but still again, Buzzwool now blocked by his own teammates. Ball is a big problem. Slowbro jumps into, but he still survives in the portal. Nasty stuff from Proud Throwers. They know what they need to do. They know the limits of all of their Pokemon, specifically Jinga on that Buzzwool. And this man has been unstoppable.
That's a great point. Knowing the limits of a Pokemon is a full display here. Knowing when to get in, when to get out, how much you can sustain yourself is really important, especially if you are one of the highest levels in this game. If you go down something like Inteleon, that Inteleon gets level 13 pretty much straight away. So, 23 seconds now for our first Rayquaza rather, of our grand finals. Jinsei. Not in a bad position, to be honest, in terms of levels. They need to find a way, though. They're a 1-game deficit coming out from the losers. Can they make the incredible comeback story that they've done from the losers finals?
The only problem is that Slowbro does not have enough HP, so the Unite move is going to be procced up a bit more early as Crustle constantly goes in for the damage. But here we go, Fu. This is the time of the fight as Crustle goes in for his Unite.
Oh my god, a huge little slow beam onto the Cerulege though. That's going to be massive for them. Buzzle's also out for 16 seconds. Avalon drops like flies. Yet again, Proud Throwers seemingly throwing away this Rayquaza fight. Espeon has the ability to steal this, but they're so far outside of the pit. They land the move. He's not going to be good enough because a Rune is there to make sure that they get that Rayquaza. I mean, maybe we manifested it for Jinsei, but somehow they found a way to win that Rayquaza fight with the Buzzle KO.
Beautiful play. Buzzwool getting KO'd was the big problem. It gets deleted one more time, and it's Jinsei with a massive comeback run from the lower bracket and now ready to steal away the game number 1 from the clutches of Proud Throwers. This AG/pick has been working so very well for them, and you mentioned it perfectly. Since you've got 2 lockdowns on the other side, you've got Slowbro, you've got Serena. Both of your players are going to be picked off one after the other, and the Espeon is just not doing enough to burst down through that tanky BP front line. And for this is just a play from Jinsei.
Yeah, this is just a classic case of winning the early game so hard, but your cooldown timer is so long, and as soon as you go down first, you're not going to be there for the entire Rayquaza fight. No Unite moves are able to be used for Jinga over there, and now they have a big task now. Not going to be able to do much there. It's slow beam onto Jinga, but it's over for this first game, and Jinsei confidently really brought it back into their favor. It is 1 apiece here in the grand finals, and now it's back to even slate, right? Both teams need to win 2 more to take out the title.
I mean, I'm sensing some voodoo here, some evil thing. Jinsei, the score is 666 right now. Man, they're really bringing themselves back up from the depths of hell, maybe to rise up and take control of the heavens. Proud Throwers. They really had everything in their pocket, but guess maybe the Slowbro was the name of the game. It's been stolen away, and so is the game. So Jinsei, they kind of really figured out what they need to do. Survive till the mid to late game and then steal away the Rayquaza. 50-50 flip, this time going in their favor. But only one time is probably when Jinga died in that entire game, and the game went out of their hand.
Yeah, I don't even think it was a 50-50 flip. They kind of knocked out everyone except the Espeon, I think. So definitely a very favored flip there for them. But regardless, I agree with you. I mean, the Slowbro Unite didn't even need to land on the Buzzwole either. Buzzwole just KO'd themselves at the start of the Rayquaza fight. They did so well through the entire thing, but they were the first to go down. And unfortunately, when you have a 30-second timer, not even a Hooper Unite can really bring you back.
True. And here's the fun fact. Look at the amount of stats. Maximum healing, maximum damage taken, maximum damage dealt from Jinga on that Buzzwool. Like, no one comes close to him on his team at least. Maybe even towards the enemy, apart from Mono just having the highest damage tank with 67,000 and Lala having the highest heal of 55,000. So this was really a full-fledged Buzzwool show until that last Rayquaza fight. That's where everything flipped up. But yes, I
I kinda
still
wanna
feel that you
catch-
can't really win. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you go.
I was just saying a common statement that you can't really put all your eggs in one basket of Buzzwool and expect to win every single game. At least one mistake is bound to be made.
Yeah, I want to see in the replays whether we can catch where Buzzle went down, because as we were casting that, I saw it go down immediately, but I didn't actually know how, because, you know, when you have a level 13, almost level 14 Buzzwole at the Rayquaza fight, you need a lot of things to happen to take it down, and there was no Slowbro Unite to make sure that they got locked down either, so perhaps they were half HP already going in. We'll catch it in a second, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the fight.
No.
Oh, but Buzzwole's already down for 28 seconds, so how did it go down?
Yeah.
Where?
And fun fact is, all the Unites were up for Jinsei. So there's no lockdown on Buzzwool whatsoever. That's a pure misposition play. Oh my god, that's a big thing. I thought maybe at least they would have used a couple of Unites to burst him down. But that was just not the case. Jinsei, they kind of got an advantage and they got ahead of Buzzwool maybe. Because that was what eventually paved the way for that fight.
Yeah, regardless though, I think Proudthrower was not really wanting to think about that game anymore. It's after this next one, right? Their advantage now has been stripped away. They've now banned out something different, it seems, because, I mean, Jinsei has locked down the Dodrio as the first Pokemon they don't want to play into. This is super random for me, but Psyduck makes a bit more sense.
Psyduck, fair enough. Oh, whoa. Rapidash is up. Rapidash is up.
Ooh.
First time.
You are
Please get
right
that.
here, Scared. Please show us a bit of Rapidash. Akira locking that Pokemon in. That could be a mistake on the side of Proud Throwers.
If they lose this one, I'm pretty sure I'm betting all my money onto Jinsei. Onto that yellow. I mean, this is a big pick, but with this, they get the Slowbro, they get the Hoopa as well back in their pocket, so their own comfort. But the question is, are you going to pair it up with Miraidon, or are you going to pair it up with Inteleon? Alright, that's Miraidon now with the Slowbro. So Hoopa is still available for Jinsei. They can very well steal it away.
They can, and I think if they have Hooper, it will make their lives a little bit easier, especially going up against basically Proud Throwers playing Hooper every single game. It is a great point here. Can Lala do justice? They will pick the Eldegoss instead, though, so, I mean, it's just all about also comfort, right? What Pokemon you like to play, but Mamoswine is a Pokemon we have not seen in eons. Mono going to be locking that in, and that just means that, like you said, if VL is just going to go back on the Hooper, right? Why fix anything when it's been working so well?
Yeah, absolutely. Plus, they also have the Miraidon this time around, so if Akira wants to dash in onto him, Avalon's going to do a good job in terms of locking down that speedster and then helping your team. I think so you still need one more baiting all-rounder that can actually dash in the enemy backline. The question is, who is that going to be? Because you need a bait for Avalon to eventually use up his own lockdown so that Akira can get an easy way in and out of the backlines too. Because there's a Shifu locked there, you've got Inteleon, a Charizard being locked in. I don't know if that is actually the way to go though.
Oh my gosh. You talk about lockdown Pokemon, right? We have 3 lockdown Pokemons on the side of Proud Throwers. If one wasn't enough, I mean, there's a Slow Beam for the Rapidash. There is the Ebonfish from the Urshifu. And there's also the Mimikyu Unite. I don't know whether this horse will get to play the game this time, but before, if they use the Unites on other people, Akira will be able to run through, especially Yashu on the Miraidon. This Pokemon is basically hindrance resistance when it has its shield up. It is incredibly fast. It can lock you down with its own Unite as well, the Triad Blitz. It can do everything right now in this game. And the fact that we get to see it tonight, I think is an absolute treat for us.
It's gonna be super fun though. Quite a few Pokemon flips out there. So Yasha is gonna be playing onto that Mimikyu, and Jinga is gonna be back onto that Urshifu. So yeah, pretty fun to see now. As Rapidash makes its way in, I remember that there was a bet that me and Zen were having our own. If we're going to see Rapidash or not, I said we will potentially see. One of the teams is definitely going to leave that open. So it was like, all right, we'll have to see that. I mean, it's going to be a treat indeed. It gives them a big boost in terms of the entire draft to the members of Jinsei. But the question is, can he survive the 3 lockdowns?
I just mean this Pokemon is ridiculous. We'll hopefully be able to see why very, very soon. Just from the get-go, as soon as you get your shield, you're going to be able to do more damage once you get more psychic counters as well. I'm just so surprised that they picked Charizard to complement it, because that's going to not be able to do very well into that Mimikyu top side, right?
Yeah, he's gonna try and maybe for now he's gonna be soloing out there. So Hoopa getting that red buff is again the name of the game. While on the bottom side, Mamoswine out there, that one little seed constantly doing a damage. Wait. Mimikyu actually get a good pick off onto the Charmander. So that's a small problem out there for Jinsei. Don't really want to give up too much early lead to either Mimikyu or also take away some from your own Charmander.
I mean, like I said before, it's very hard, right, for a Charmander to really do much into Mimikyu. Mimikyu, as soon as they get 5, have one of the best moves in terms of damage, whereas Charmander really needs that 7. Oh my gosh, Hoopa going down to Kira will mean that there's no support for this Jinga on the Urshifu anymore, but they do manage to chunk down quite a bit, and it might be Kira that actually goes down first. They ran in with half HP. This is a dire situation for Proud Throwers, and really it provides Jinsei a bit of leeway now for this Charmander to actually come online. They are still a bit shy of it, but we do have Lala finally level 4. But seems like Yashu will be able to grab that level 5 off them, and they're going to be using that Shadow Claw.
Yeah, they're still slowly and steadily trying. But right now, a bit of a poke all the way down there at the bottom side. I guess Rapidash bit more than what he could eventually chew, because it's still Urshifu on the other side, so you can't really underestimate the damage. And they're now trying to barge in to steal away all those buffs as well. Sort of the purple buff, maybe, as again Inteleon trying to do a bit of damage as well. Mimikyu being taken down on the top side, so not really entirely a jungle flip coming in, but still some good steals on one side at least.
Proud Throwers aggressive yet again, and their comp provides them the ability to do so. Charge Beam now onto Mono. Mono only level 4, has to eject away, seeing this Shifu come through, and we have 4 members now lurking in this bottom path here for Proud Throwers. They look to help out this Slowbro, which has hit that level 6 as well, and the fact that we have a Slowbro higher level than a Charmeleon is a scary time for Jinsei to be in, and I mean, it's all up to whether they can secure the next bit of farm, right, coming up very soon.
Yeah, that's, again, we talked about the fact that you don't really want that Charizard to slow down in terms of its evolutions too. And since there's a Hoopa on the other side, they're constantly going to jump back in and out of those bites time and time again. It always comes down to the situation where how fast can this Rapidash play? Oh my god, that's so very fast. That's so very quick. But again, you need to dodge in all of those skills from Urshifu too. You don't really want to face it head on. Plus, there's also a Miraidon on the other side who will try to run away as fast as possible. So, catching on to all of them, that's going to be a bit more tricky. So, I really feel Rapidash actually stacks up before jumping into the team fight.
I think if there's any Pokemon that can catch up, it's going to be that Rapidash, but we do have a first KO onto the Slowbro, and this might be an advantage now for Jinsei. They try a Blitz, deletes Hoopa off the map, and another dash that goes through to make sure the Miraidon doesn't get to play the game, but they will get shut down though, unfortunately, from the side of a Shifu, knocking a K-Shake of 2, Ebon Fist, but gets countered by the full heal, massive for the Charizard there, with Leo able to make sure that they don't go down to that Pokemon. They might have lost the buff there, but they got some value from the KOs.
Absolutely. Lost the buff, getting some good value too. Now this Urshifu is going to be a big problem. Jinga has been playing really well onto that Urshifu, waiting for the perfect timing and then catching into Rapidash. Now even though Rapidash has got a big amount of damage, as much as you would like to get him set things up for the team or maybe jump in at the time when your team sets things up for you, you still don't really have a lot of HP, right? So you will be bursted down very quickly. I think so they're still waiting for Mamoswine to get his own Unite move and then basically dash in and out, or maybe at least create chaos into the enemy backlines. That's what's going to give you a bit of an advantage too.
That is going to be the strategy for sure. And Emma, not level 9 so far, won't have access to their Meteor Storm. So they're going to be lurking in the bushes now, trying to see if they can poke out anybody, maybe get a KO to tick over. But we do have one less member, I think, from both these teams. Maybe 2 on the side of Proud Throwers, pivoting into that bottom path. And this might mean the Charizard gets a chance to start it. They will have the Slicing Plan available. They can grab maybe a Hooper here, or maybe the Miraidon, but looks like this is going to go for a straight flip, which I think, to be honest, the Inteleon is going to be favored there, and they're going to be able to secure that for the team. The Slicing Plan will be able to grab on, and they're going to be able to KO Hooper as well, so no more portals for that team. 3 members down from Cloud Throwers, and Jinsei with the upper hand into this mid game.
The wrap it up, the tier 1 on the top side perfectly too. Unlikely that they're going to be behind in terms of those scorings anytime soon. And they take down that tier 1 on top. That means the portal's going to be down now onto the tier 2. Shifu probably bet a bit more than what he could eventually choose. Should be taken down. Good amount of damage. Oh, hold on a second. No way he's going to survive that, right? Finally getting taken down. You can't outrun that unicorn. The horse Rapidash though, but Miraidon with that range will be able to answer back on the other side. Mammothmine still not level 9. Again, a bit of a problem out there, but finally the Regirock spawns in too. They want to get a bit of those defenses up as quickly as possible, but still maybe the return down to the 50-50? Absolutely not, as Rapidash secures it perfectly.
Rapidash is going to be showing up with their level 12 on the side. The Amethyst does find the Inteleon, so they're going to be knocking it out with the help of Mimikyu, as now Proud Throwers are going to be quickly trying to run back in. No portals available just yet for Viol, but can the Urshifu actually make it back? They missed the Hooper portal, but it's fine. We have Jinsei running out of gas, but not running out of gas is going to be this Rapidash. They look to maybe get it back up top, but yet again, one of the advantages of having a Hooper is you can't really go anywhere, right, without the Hooper seeing you.
Yeah, exactly. But at least one thing is for Jinsei is that even if there's a Hooper on one side, you really have this Rapidash who can rotate very quickly in between those lanes. So I think that's actually a nice idea to now let Rapidash clear out those Pokemons out of those far lanes and then help him rotate. But again, another engagement right now, the poke down bottom, but mid is where the fight is going.
Oh, the Triplets yet again takes down the all-rounder on the side of Proud Throwers. They're going to be looking for more now, and opportunity has opened up with the Mimikyu, using the Play Rough rather on that move, uses the full heal to make sure the play with me actually goes through, but lands on the Elder God, so probably not the target they were looking for, and Mono now getting punished for pushing up too early, and we do have now a rotation from both these teams going back on the Regieleki. We have now 4 members against 4 themselves. Inteleon has the snipe shot ready to go, and it's going to be a Charizard that allows them to pocket that. That is going to be a good start going into this Rayquaza fight. And yet again, Jinsei, having the momentum now from winning that last game, look to take the second one, as they will have that points advantage, but also a level advantage. Come on, tell me the level of that Rapidash right now, ScaredYet. Level 14 is ridiculous.
And he's still got 50 scores in his own pocket even now. That's nasty. Level 14 is just nasty. The highest level is level 13, and that too on the Mimikyu. Rayquaza now appears. It's a poke battle coming in, and Slowbro has been poked out a bit too much, but this Miraidon is finally trying to at least return back the favor too. The Hooper portal is there, so he will heal back up and be back into the action. But there we go. Mammothmine jumps in the action.
Oh, what a huge isolation by Mono onto that Hooper. Now no more rings are bound for them. We've got to have all the Unite moves going off. The Charizard takes the skies, and the Inteleon is the second to fall for their team going down there. But Rapidash here to clean up. It is going to be a cleanup on our 9. We have 4 members all taken down from Proud Throwers. 3 to the name, 4 to the name for the Rapidash. And it is going to be a full send now for Kira, but they have the rings about to come through, so teams are now going to be a little bit more scared to rip this Rayquaza. The Triplets to go through. The Rayquaza is on a tiny bit of HP. Someone needs to skill this right now before it gets stolen by Proud Throwers. We have the Fairy Wind to go through, but the Hooper out of nowhere, Viol shuts down the dream of that. And now Proud Throwers, a way to come back into this game. They do have the shield broken though, and Emma getting run down by the 2 members of Jinsei will also lose their shield.
Yeah, they're still doing that, but Jinga, he's got a bit of a shield remaining though, but there's Charizard on top, low in the HP, the shield's been broken, just still managed to score in a few points, a big play from Proud Throwers. What a nasty comeback from their side, though, but it's still not up. A 3K on the other side. That means they can still score on the bottom pad now as Hooper jumps in. There's no unbound form, so that's going to be a bit of a problem for their side as Hooper still got a decent amount of HP. Should be bursted down as quickly as possible. Has he brought enough time is the question. Are they going to both score in at the same time is also the big question. They've got 100 into 27. They still need to score one more. But it's a 50 for LD. They don't have time and a 52 for BBQ on the other side. Proud Throwers have won this one.
Proud Throwers, all thanks to Viol on the Hooper, somehow manages to win this game. I mean, it really comes down to Rayquaza, and honestly, watching these teams go through ScaredYet, I have no freaking clue who's going to win it. You might have all the advantage in the world. You might have all the best engages from Mono. But at the end of the day, you're losing a Secure to a Hooper that ultimately loses you this game. Proud Throwers now, sigh relief. They're now one game away from taking the series. They go up 2-1.
Anyone but a Hooper, man. Anyone but a Hooper. You lose out onto the Rayquaza when you've got an Inteleon, you've got a Rapidash. Man, that's again, Proud Throwers are the ones who basically picked it up proudly. Jinsei, that's a big mistake. All the momentum that they built throughout the series, and that too all the way from the lower bracket, it's now being thrown away.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous scenes. I don't know how each game has subverted my expectations for the next one as well. This is just doesn't really make sense, but Damage definitely tells the story of how broken Akira is on the Rapidash and just the Rapidashes in general. Yet again, like I said, I didn't like the Charizard pick. I didn't understand it, and I don't think they had enough impact there, right? They barely did more than Lala on the Elder Goss. I think there are a bunch of all-rounders that might be better into that team.
It's not even 100 additional damage, right? So I agree. There's so many all-rounders that could have done so much better than the Charizard out there. I mean, that's exactly where the problems eventually lined up. Even the Inteleon had a decent amount of damage. Yes, not a lot of scoring, but it's absolutely fine. He needed to keep his range up. But Miraidon on the other side, we need to talk about Miraidon as well. 101,000 damage, that is absolutely phenomenal in a situation when the enemy has got a Rapidash who can close in that gap so quickly. I think so throughout the entire early, mid and late game, Miraidon was the only one who was not getting picked off as much as his rest of the teammates.
Yeah, which is surprising as well, because when you have a Charge Beam Miraidon, it really can't run away from a Rapidash. So not sure who Akira was targeting most of that game. Maybe the Hooper instead? Yeah, but they do manage to pick him out a couple of times from what I remember. At the end of the day, though, I think the teams kind of just panicked a little bit and didn't trust their own Secure. They kind of delayed it after winning the Wraith Quasar fight, and ultimately, with the Hooper unbound, it does sufficient amount of damage to secure the Wraith.
True. And that was, I think so the idea from Proud Throwers, Jinsei was also pretty decent to maybe take down Hooper first and then you go in for the Rayquaza, so that there's absolutely no chance of 50-50 whatsoever. But again, they did not even have enough HP in that one fight though. But again, throughout the entire mid-game, Jinsei were doing phenomenal job in terms of getting those early scores as well as pushing out the opponents on the other side. Plus, a huge shout out to the production as well, sending us the slow motion of those replays as well. But yes, I think so even in order to manhandle the Rapidash, Urshifu did a decent job in early to mid game, and then it was taken over by Miraidon with just creating that gap.
I actually disagree. I think that Urshifu fell to the Rapidash too many times. It's not a lot of things the Rapidash is going to be scared of in Urshifu. Urshifu has the Unite move as a lockdown, but if you're unstoppable or hinders resistance, it's very hard to actually take down the horse. I think if they went back to the sword or the Aegis Slash, it's a much better way to lock on and make sure that you actually get the damage on the Rapidash. Regardless though, like I said, even though they had a massive pick onto Hooper first, you can see Mono jumping in a second. They were able to take down the Hooper, but the Hooper actually came back in, used the Unite move to secure the Rayquaza. You'll be able to see in about 5 seconds here, Mono with an incredible jump in. They lock onto the Hooper here. Hooper goes down first, actually, as you can see from this. Massive pick from their team, the Rapidash getting that KO. and then they were able to dismantle it because a slow beam going into the mono is a bit interesting, but it doesn't matter. It allows a bit of more fighting chance for the Inteleon to come through, and with a huge little support coming out from Eldegoss, they actually managed to save the mono from going down. Inteleon not that lucky, but at the end of the day, they were up 4 or 3 members. 3 members to 1, I think, or something like that. And just not able to secure the raid. They kind of got scared a little bit. Even though they have Rapidash, they have enough damage. Look, they all went upside for a Slowbro, which I don't think it's going to be a problem to secure the raid.
Yeah, and then it was only a Rapidash trying to go for that secure Hoopa. He was just waiting there perfectly. Look at that. A bit of a damage as well coming in, and then went in to go for the steal. Slowbro and Hoopa combining their attacks, maybe. That's what it ended up being.
Oh, look at that. The
so
Avalon grabbing the
close.
Inteleon so they can't secure. That was massive too. But at the end of the day, credit where
Smart.
credit's due onto that Hoopa, though, for that huge timing against the Fairy Wind.
True. I think so. They did not even need to actually go for the Rayquaza, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. They might have just gone into score in on the tier 2s directly. They could have eventually isolated the Hoopa too if it would have hopped in. And they would have got probably at least, 100 score bare minimum. So I think so that could have also been a way to go. Just leaving away the Rayquaza entirely. But alright, what's happened has happened. Now Proc Throwers, they're just one game away into winning this entire series. There's no way they're going to pick up either a Decidueye or something like that.
Here we go. Very interestingly, though, is going to be Rapidash first banned out for the purple side, so definitely don't want to play that Pokemon, but Viola is going to be able to pick up the Hoopa yet again in that first position, and you're actually going to return on the Espeon here. A very interesting pick, more of a placeholder, I think, because in that position, right, if they don't want to play Intel or Miraidon, they're going to be able to give it both to Jinsei for the choice, and I think, if I'm correct, Arun does prefer the Inteleon, but maybe I'm wrong. They're going to go with the Experience Share Mew to maybe change it up for our possible final game. Not sure what they're cooking there, but it allows them to have another all-rounder perhaps that can do a bit more damage maybe. I mean, you could have a damaged Slowbro come out. It's not too common though, but it does seem like they're going to take off the XP share though, so to everyone's relief, I think.
Yeah, thank God. Who let them cook is not coming through. I agree. I think so. It's a pretty decent pick, right? We were having the discussion as well a while back, and I was like, I mean, Mew is also really... It's picked up in all the other regions, but in India, not a lot of people pick up out the Mew, but finally, it's been brought in along with the Aegis Slash. If they lock in the Aegis Slash, I think so that's going to become a really good composition for Jinsei, adding in a Slowbro as well as the Elde. So they've got a very good combination of dive, sustain, some good amount of healing as well. I think so in terms of how well they gel up together, Jinsei, they've got a very good comp.
They do have a standard double all-rounder comp, right? When I think Sword and Cerulean are two very strong all-rounders in that aspect. But they are going to be going back on the Jinder Buzzwole, though. So, yet again, I think it is going to be a fun watch, especially in the early game, to see whether they're going to get the better of them. So far, Jinga has gone 2-0 in terms of getting the path to win in their favor, and especially that goes up to Yashu coming up with a huge little ambush as well, regardless. Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see whether they go for another hug on the Buzzwole or not, because we've seen Jinga pop off on that Pokemon. They're very comfortable with it. They know the limitations for sure. And I think with Vio on the back with the Hoopa portals, it makes it so easy for them to just hop back in and out. It's definitely going to be a raid boss for them to take down.
Right, it will come down to that itself, because again, the other side's composition is something that you can't really underestimate whatsoever. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see now this time around. Who do you think is this time winning, Pooh? Proud Throwers 3-1, or is it Jinsei 2-2?
Hard to call in the early game, but we do know that Proud Throwers are one game away, folks, from taking out Challengers Series number 1. Not only will they have the bragging rights for this winning this series, but they will also get a nice little prize of 50 USD. So all those cute little holowares available in the shop, maybe going to the funds of those. But Jinga now going in for the stacks immediately, and we have now a different Lala getting the red buff to match the Hoopa, which they don't have the red buff this time actually. So perhaps a change in the strategy for both these teams, and let's see where they pays off.
Yeah, probably. Maybe they just want to quickly help Mimikyu farm up as fast as possible, right? So constantly poke damage coming in, and they're gonna get that first pick already. This time Hoopa getting that. But again, with Buzzpool up on top, in front of you, on your faces, that's a big problem. But finally, we're gonna see some dashes coming in on the other side too, maybe catching him out. But a Mimikyu for that one final pick will get that advantage for his team.
Well, the good news is, Buzzwall maybe going to be a little bit late to these birds. They don't have the level 5, so no superpower available, but Dublay's not even going to contest this. Just means that Buzzwall gets 5 for free, I guess. And they're going to be able to push this pad because they're stronger now. They don't have an Elder Ghost on the side of Jinsei, they know this. We have Mimikyu with Shadow Claw and Buzzwall having the superpower available, and they can just grab the sword, get the KO on the Dublade, which they do, and really just snowball from here.
Oh my god, what a nasty portal at the last second. And they still want to fight it even more. The secondary is going to be saving the life, but they still want to try and maybe push in a bit more of their limits. Hoopa, portal out there. And he still survives that. Nasty.
Why are they pushing? I don't understand. Is Buzzwall super cute or something? Why are we giving hugs to Buzzwall when they were so small in the levels? And now Emma caught out between a sword and a Slowbro will also deliver a bit of experience, which I think to the relief of Jinsei, finally a bit of free experience on their side. Now Arun tries to get out of the Trevenant, but Trevenant not level 7, so no Horn Leech available, but I just think Jinga gets the freest top path here, ScaredYet, all these games, and I think it's really the problem that Jinsei still hasn't been able to solve.
And it's still persisting. So as you've said, big problem for their side. And they've also got Aegislash, right, who really needs to dive into those fights to eventually get the pickoffs on the other side. Hoopa will be able to get another pick. Slowbro falls in. Espion dealing a good amount of damage as well over towards the bottom side. Aegislash will have to move back towards the zoned out yet again from the birds down bottom. And maybe over from towards the top as well.
They will have a bit of scores. It's still Jinsei going to the donut store so far. 0 points scored for both these teams. And Lala shouldn't even be defending this pad anymore. You're still level 3. They need to go farm up, at least get some levels. There's no way a Glossifer can take down a Buzzwall and a Hoopa. Now with Mew taking the Registeel though, at least some sort of levels going onto their team. Finally, level 5 onto the Elder Goss. We have the Wide Guard to prevent the Mimikyu from coming through. But the Slowbro is not going to be that lucky as the overwhelming amount of pressure exerted by Prowl Throwers is going to be seen in this basement pad. They're going for a siege there, but nice little Wide Guard. Maybe they can pick out the Trevenant. They do. Arun able to help out the sword here. And Aegislash against the Mimikyu is huge for them, but they should be running in. They're 1 HP and they go down to the Espion.
That's again a very good play followed up by a big mistake too. I really wanted that Aegislash to run backwards, but went a bit more forward. Eventually was taken down. Level 8s plus 1 level 9 or make it 2 level 9 onto the members of Proud Throwers. They're constantly getting those level advantages too. Elde, Slowbro both level 7 right now. So they can finally maybe just join those fights to try and at least help out their own teammates. One good thing is that Mew has been keeping that gap. But hold on a second.
This might be huge there. We have a good pick on the Mimikyu and the Mystical Mirage just to run down the Hooper as well. The Sword were able to do that, taking them down. No more portals for their team. And this is the window for Jinsei to get some scores in. The first of this game, 40 to come through, you'd hope. As we have a nice serve to drown out the Espion, and they will also go down, but Jinga's here to play. The Janitor is here to clean up the aisle. A nice little grab of the Altaria. We're going to borrow that for the damage. And they now look for more. They have the Beast Brew engaged. Cage got 3. This is Jinga's world. We're just living in it. Now they're looking for more. Lurking the bush. They're pushed up so far in. The Revenant Wren doesn't actually connect the Buzzwalls. This is a perfect opportunity to slam them down. Another one for Proud Throwers as they have a huge response to that KOs in the middle side there. And Buzzwall doesn't look to stop anytime soon. Psychic Solaire to hold up the enemy, and a nice little side shot to make sure that the Slowbro and the Aegislash goes back to Nurse Joy. And the fight just doesn't stop, does it? ScaredYet. I mean, everyone is pushing onto the pad. Did I see another KO streak of 3 for Jinga? They break this bottom pad. They use the Hooper Unite. And I don't think this Registeel is going to be contestable anytime soon.
Absolutely not. Constantly jumping into the fight, giving away so many crucial level to the Proud Throwers members as well. They kept on hopping in, kept on dying, and it just repeated over and over again. A free Reggie Steele down bottom, but at least they're trading it with a Reggie Lecky up top. So, yeah, we're seeing Jinsei maybe survive for a while, but there we go. Buzzwool, he missed out his own slam, so had to use the eject button to eventually go back and survive, but the fight still continues.
With a nice little wood hammer, with the Horn Leech to isolate 2 members, but Trevenant oh so low there, and the coup de grace will be able to take them out. Take that Hooper as well. Case Trigger 3 for Leo YT. Make that 4 for their team, and they know, and they're showing the Buzzle that yes, you can get some KOs, but so can I. I'm also an all-rounder of an incredible caliber, and they're going to be able to even up the scores a little bit better now. 186 to 180. ScaredYet.
I guess we're going all the way this time around for this grand finals. It's 2-2 already. I think so. It's going to be 2-2. With the way how Jinsei are now playing, 6 points apart is the big thing. The question is, what decision are these teams going to make? Because the score is probably going to remain the same now for the next few minutes, or at least 1 minute. It all comes down to who will pick that Rayquaza up.
Oh, speaking of picking up though, Slowbro with a huge pickup onto Trevenant, and Trevenant's still a little bit low on the levels, to be honest, at level 10. Nice to lock in with the Shadow Sneak onto Mew, just to scare the Slowbro a little bit as well. They're going to be staying very close to Arun there, but last bit of chance to rack up some XP, whether they're KOs or the wild Pokemon. Big little side shock to allow them to go through back in. I don't think it's worth a fight anymore there, ScaredYet. We don't have really an opportunity to use any more Unite moves. And I think Proud Throwers, they're 1 game away. They know they've got a slight lead, at least in the points department. And, you know, 1 game away from winning this whole thing. The stakes are definitely high for both these teams.
None of them are actually going to go in for any of the Reggie objectives too. So it's as you perfectly mentioned, the pressure is at all-time high. They're setting up for Rayquaza. They don't care about anything else. This is the main fight that you need to take. And as you mentioned, level 10 was a bit low for that Trevi. He's finally level 11 too, but on the other side, 11 Slowbro, 11 Elde. Big play, and we might possibly see the fight break out now.
We're going to go through the Hooper portal, bringing 2 members, and Mono gets seen by the Psy Shock from the Espeon, and both teams are just looking to wait it out. Talk about how diamonds are made under pressure, and a lot of pressure here for sure. Shadow Sneak consistently locking onto them, but no great engage. Apart from this one, Espeon goes down straight away to the Cerule Edge. And we're going to have everyone popping their Unite moves. The Cotton Cloud Crash comes through to save their teammates. Viol bring out the Hooper portal to make sure the Espeon maybe gets to play. Nice little slow beam onto the Buzzwole. That manages to take them out. ScaredYet, this is a huge turnaround from Jinsei. They managed to knock out 3 members of Proud Throwers, but they lose 1 of their own. But the Leo YT gets a KO Sugar 3. Espeon can do something fantastic here. It's 4 KO streak. They have the secure move with Psybeam. The side shot to go through, and they do it! ScaredYet, they come through with a miracle to make sure that the score does not go through on Jinsei. They're not Proud Throwers anymore. They are well on their way to become proud winners of today's series.
Nah, not twice in a row, Jinsei. That's a big, big play. Man, oh man. Here we thought that maybe what happened in the last game was 1. But guess what? This time around, another scoring opportunity. Hoopa slowly moving forward. The shield should go out, but it's just there buying time. The bottom side is where the main action is. The Buzzwool jumps in, deletes everyone. And with that now, they're going to push their advantage even further. It is done. And it is going into a 3-1 Proud Throwers. A big play.
Proud Throwers definitely came through with it. So many crazy secures tonight from the Hooper, from the Espeon. I mean, it is a fantastic showcase of the talent in the region. But at the end of the day, one team stands out on top. It is going to be your winners, Proud Throwers, through the winners bracket as well. Valiant effort, MVP from Jinga. Not too surprising there, was it? They've showed us how to play Buzzle tonight. And even though Leo put up a great fight towards the end with a KO streak of 4, just goes to show you have to make sure everyone is down before you go for the secure sometimes, especially if you have Emma on the Espeon.
Emma, my man. Weil was the one in the previous one. This time, Emma, absolutely perfect. They had the advantage in terms of the scoring throughout the entire game, but again, not a big one, right? 186 to 180 is what the entire difference was. But then over towards the end is where we saw the maximum amount of scoring coming in. A big play onto that Rayquaza. It was a valiant effort from the side of Jinsei. They gave us hope that maybe this reverse sweep is possible. But Proud Throwers, again, with their early game advantage and their good transition to the mid and late game, they made sure to eventually close it out with that Rayquaza steal. Not once, but twice.
They say lightning doesn't strike in the same place twice, but it has done so today for Proud Throwers, and they've done incredibly well. But I think also a big shout out for Jinsei as well, right? They showed how resilient they were. They came through losing in the winners, going back into the losers, beating CAS, coming back in, grabbing a game with emphatic fashion. But at the end of the day, Proud Throwers just too strong tonight. But I do hope to see both these teams back for next week's India Weeklies. However, tonight is the time to celebrate for Proud Throwers. They have done it. They have won it all. Challengers Series 1 able to be in their name. And this is just a replay of how Jinga got out of this fight. Uses the superpower to gain that bit of shield from the Beast Boost. Using the Hooper portal at great timing. And the fact that Rio got to play Hooper pretty much every single game we got to watch tonight is a huge surprise to me.
Yeah, he was playing Hooper constantly. I believe it was this one game where he was not really having the perfect time of his life, and that was the game number 2, if I'm not wrong. But again, in that game, he was able to steal away the Rayquaza as well. So clearly, if he's not impactful in terms of his portals, he's still impactful in terms of those Rayquaza steals, right? So he's always there. Big comfort onto the man, and no more changes there whatsoever. So Jinsei, again, they've got to learn a bit more in terms of what to allow to go through and what maybe to try and pick to deny the other side. But I think so overall, in terms of what they decided to do, yeah, it was still, they had a good draft in terms of execution. At least towards the Rayquaza is where they kind of need to learn a bit more patience or decision making. Apart from that, it was still just a couple of mistakes coming in from their side. What they put up was absolute cinema for us.
Definitely great action from both these teams, and every single team that played in the Challenger Series today needs to give them a huge pat on the back. But just the replays just seem to be Jinga's game, right? Like just 3 KO streaks, 3 KO streaks. We did have a really nice streak for Leo here, though, up in the top half. They were able to pick up 4 KOs, if I remember correctly. Able to bring it back for them. The Sacred Sword, look at that, knocking up 2 members with a boosted attack now, doing more damage than before. And I think one of the best things about Wide Guard is it also provides you that initial stun as well. And look at that. That is so clean. The kebab stick on the coup de grace. Able to make sure that they get the scores in finally for their side. And I think these two talented players are definitely something to watch going into the official season as well. This is where all the action started, right at the 2-minute mark.
Jeez, man, this was such an action-packed game that the highlights seem obnoxiously long than usual. But yes, I agree. There was definitely a phenomenal play from both these teams. Good amount of talent in the region too. And sometimes all you get from all of these weekly scrims is experience, and experience is all you need to slowly and steadily rank up and maybe be a part of the pro scene itself. And I'll be very honest though, I'm a big fan of Aegis Slash, and I loved Leo Whitey with the way he played this one. Sacred Swords at the perfect time, landing in, finishing off the enemy. This entire fight was Jinsei's. They did everything right. They won the entire fight. All they did, they just did one wrong thing, and that was letting that Espeon stay up top to eventually go for that steal. A big, beautiful 4K for Aegis Slash, and then this is where the steal came through.
Yeah, well, regardless though, I think a Mew needed to have their moves ready to go there. I think Mew is favored against the Espeon, to be honest. but they used coaching for the Secure instead, so they didn't actually get a move to go through, and sometimes things like that just happen, right? And you can see just the disappointment as all their teammates realize how crazy it was that Emma was able to steal it away from them.
True. Crazy was also us hopping back on the cam right now while I was relaxing out there in the background, just like how your Snorlax is relaxing there. But man,
That's it.
it was definitely a phenomenal performance, and Pooh, it was super fun to have you as well. And thank you for mentioning about those weekly events that you reminded me as well. So people out there, the India Weekly is going to start from next week itself. So make sure you register. For the ones who could not register onto this one, don't worry, इंडिया वीकली अगले हफ्तों से ही वापस से शुरू हो जाएगा, तो फटाफट से रजिस्टर भी कर लो। एंड साथ ही साथ वीकली के जो भी विनर्स होंगे उनको मौका मिलेगा मंथली में खेलने का। सो यू कैन ओनली क्वालिफाई इनटू द इंडिया मंथली इफ you win in the India Weekly Open. So make sure you participate onto that one. But yes, for now, proud throwers are going to be super happy they did not throw away those $50.
They definitely did not. I think they played extremely well. But we're going to wrap it up today. But as you said, India Weeklies will start beginning of next week. So I hope to see everybody there and participating. I remember last year we had a huge amount of sign-ups. And now we're elevating even more inside of INGAGE. They're going to have your monthly cups as well. But as you rightly pointed out, the qualification will depend on these weeks. So grab your team members, come in and, you know, practice at least some of the comps, especially going to the official season tournaments as well. It's great to have a grassroots tournament to hone your sword, right? And just make sure that the team strategy is working out very well as well. But as usual, time to wrap it up. A lot of people to thank for today's broadcast. I'm so glad to say that the Asia-India, I guess, broadcasts are coming back on YouTube. It's a fantastic time for all players in this region. I mean, my name's Fu, the ScaredYet, and I were the casters today that brought you guys the action. But behind the scenes, we had Shivam on the production, Zen as our operator manager, Rosanda with the amazing observing today as well. And I hope maybe there's any admins in the YT side of things. Big shout out to you guys as well for maintaining chat. But I think that's all we have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed the 3 incredible sets. Big shout out to all the teams that participated. And that's going to be it for us today. We'll see you next week around the same time for your India Weeklies. Catch you then. Bye-bye.